has the clip. All right, and I want to show you a couple of things. You just push down on this to release the clip. Pull up, sorry. All right, and you have a 1/2 inch to an inch that you put here, and then just bring it down and catch it. And the curve is going with the body. Now, this would be a patient that's getting up because the bag, can't really tell if this bag is going down or if it's to the side. You need to be able to tell. Your bag would go like this if the patient gets up. If your patient's bedridden, it's gonna go like this. All right? Sometimes the bag is full with stool, but the faceplate's intact. You don't change the faceplate every time you change the bag. But if the bag has a lot of stool in it and it's gooky looking and all, and it's driving the patient crazy, then you can empty it. You can get your big syringe, like we listen to PEG feedings with, and you can drop water in it, and you can undo this and put water in it, reclose it, and just do like this and wash the bag off on the inside and then drain it out. You can clean the bag out for them on the inside to make them more comfortable with that. Just think about how you would feel, okay? There's one other thing. These kind of bags don't have a built-in filter to let the gas escape, so they can balloon. They can balloon and stick way out. Well, wouldn't that be embarrassing for the patient? So you can teach them with this kind of bag that they can put a really small pinprick in the top, not a big hole, a tiny hole. Get a safety pin and prick it, or a needle if they have a needle at home. And then that lets the air escape so it doesn't balloon. Another thing that will help, the bags that have the built-in filter, and I'm going to show you one, but the bags that have the built-in filter, that helps with odor control. And Hollister and some of these people do make a little tablet that you can put in there that absorbs odor, kind of like putting a box of soda in your refrigerator, control the odor in your refrigerator. But if they don't have any of those, and because everything associated with an ostomy is real expensive to buy, okay? They can just buy a cheap bottle of aspirin, okay? Go to Dollar General and get a cheap thing of aspirin and put aspirin tablets in there, and it'll absorb the odor, okay? And you can get 100 for nothing, all right? So those are just 2 things that would be helpful for the patient. All right, let me get this bag. Okay, that's what a filter would look like. Would you prefer a filter? Mm-hmm. Okay, and where do you like to go? Okay. Before you would start, you would make sure that you had a pad under your patient. Would you want to do think about organization and prioritizing your skills? Would you want to do this before your bath or after your bath?
Before.
After. Okay? Because you don't want to get the whole system wet when you just put it on. Okay? But since you've already bathed the patient, you want to make sure you have plenty of stuff should it erupt on you. But if you remember to put something in it, it's not going to erupt on you. That's kind of like remembering to hold across the connection with PEG feedings, or to put that towel around a PEG feeding patient, right? Okay. So, and another trick I'm going to share with you is, this can be messy. So this would be one of the skills that you might want to double glove. So if it does erupt and your top set of gloves gets dirty, you just peel them off, and you've got another set of gloves. And you can just peel them off and put them in your bedpan, and then deal with all of it when you carry it to the bathroom. Think about this and tell me what you would do. If you take the old bag off and you set it here in your bedpan, what you gonna do with the bedpan? Because you're gonna sit there and smell it the whole time. okay? Once you take the old bag off and you put it in your bedpan, you don't want to smell that, and your patient doesn't want to smell that. If they have a bathroom in their room, now some of the nursing home rooms don't, but if they have a bathroom in their room, just carry it to the bathroom. You can sit on the floor. It's a bedpan full of stool. Just sit on the floor, shut the door, and then when you get through with your patient, go in there and rinse your bedpan out and deal with it, okay? But if your clip is on that bag, you gotta get it off before you do that, before you carry it away. All right, when you look at the stoma, and I'm just gonna put this back up here like it would be. When you look at the stoma, you can assess your stoma with the clear bag. That's one of the benefits of the clear bags. And your stoma should be, see how that's kind of like hamburger meat on the inside of the mouth? So when it's good and red like that, beefy red, it indicates good blood flow. And if it's a new stoma that's just been made, that's one thing you would note would be the color of the stoma. This is called the stoma, okay? Because if it starts looking pale or white, what's wrong? Not getting blood flow, is it? So the surgeon has to be called, and he may have to redo that. Something's wrong. It's not getting blood flow. So that's real important to assess. The skin around here is called the peristomal skin. And we're going to make a notation about that when we take the bag off. Okay? So some terms. What drains from a stoma is called effluent. E-F-F-L-U-E-N-T, effluent. Okay? You would also note in the charting if it's liquid, semi-solid, or solid. What would you expect this to be?
Solid.
Solid. Based on anatomy. Just based on pure anatomy. Okay? So if your stoma is there on that side and the stool is solid, and all of a sudden it turns liquid, your patient may have a GI bug, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Doctor orders a suppository or orders an enema for this patient. Where are you going to put it?
In the stoma.
In the stoma. They don't have a rectum anymore. That's closed off. All right? So this is their rectum in essence, right? Okay. So there was my let's say this is still on there. Okay. You get just soapy water, okay, and a wash rag, and you probably need more than one wash rag, okay, and you want something to plug it. The tampon, a wash rag, a gauze square. So I dropped my gauze, that's my gauze square that fell, so I'm not going to use that. So I'd have to get another gauze square, okay? So just give me one. All right. So I've got my water. This is one of my favorite things to teach. I would love, I think, to be a stoma nurse and teach ostomy patients. All right. So when we take this off, it's like Tupperware. You know, it's like taking the lid off of a piece of Tupperware. And it's just going to pop off, okay? And he has the bag that these little ports right here, what the belt would connect to. So maybe this patient has trouble getting a good seal. So just for security, he does the belt too. Okay, not a lot of patients do, but some do. So you're just going to go around, and let me tell you, you better not be leaning over it like this when you pop this off, because the minute you pop it open, the odor's going to hit you, and it'll knock you down, and you could be on the floor. So don't be doing all this. You know, stand back and pop it open, okay? And just put this here, and you're going to see you got that stoma. So Kleenex corner, wash rag corner, anything. Okay. And y'all, that the patient doesn't feel it. They don't feel pain in this right here. Okay. All right. And then you're going to go around. And this can be really, I'm going to show you a trick if I can get it started. If you will fold it down as you pull it up, your gloves won't be fighting it the whole time. Okay? See how I can fold it and then I can grab it and pull a little bit? If it's an elder person, then take a minute, and when you pull it free, hold on to the skin here, because you could pull their skin off with it. Okay? So you would pull it. Get it ready to pull off by folding it down, and then put your finger here to pull it. Okay? See what I'm doing? This one's been on here a while, so the two pieces should come off together. You should not have to separate the caraya from the faceplate. This is just old, and it's broken down with a year's time. Okay. All right. And then you're going to just clean around it. And you may, if it's like his, you may have to hold that up there. Okay? And then with the towel or whatever, you can just pat it dry. Every time you dry something, have you noticed that you pat dry? And you wouldn't think it, but pat and dry is less traumatic to the skin than rub and dry. And if you're doing this often, plus you have the potential for enzymes to break it down, you're just gonna baby your skin. All right. Now, the next step is to protect the skin. Because even though you cut it, you know, 1/4 of an inch bigger, you still got that skin showing. Different patients use different products, and there's a ton out there. One thing they might use is this thing called skin prep. You see that? This is used for wounds, wound care, to protect the skin around the wound. So your facility is more likely to have this than a ostomy paste or those type products. Now this, when you put it on, makes the skin, you would take it and you would open it like an alcohol wipe, and that's what it's going to look like, is an alcohol wipe. And when you wipe around, I'm not going to really wipe around it or I'll never get the next one off of plastic, okay? But you would wipe right up to the edge of the stoma, and you're going to take just a second, 30 seconds or so, don't wave it, and let it dry. As it dries, it becomes sticky. And that's what you want. You want it to be sticky because it helps, it's two reasons. It gives you a skin barrier, and it helps your faceplate stay on. That's why we use it with dressings, okay? So by the time you measure and cut, it ought to be good. Okay, my bag. Alright, so you're gonna measure, and you're gonna get, you know, about 1/4 of an inch, okay? Alright, and I don't, my bag in here, guys.
Scissors.
What do you read this as? 41?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Jackie? Take this. Where's my scissors? Well, shoot, y'all. I put my scissors, they're probably in there on the desk where I was waiting. I got scissors. Look at my, hey, Janelle, right there in my first drawer on the left. I probably carried them into the room. First laid them down there.
I wanted to feel it.
Touch it.
too.
Okay.
I like those gummy
See the one
lifesavers.
on there?
I'm hungry. You know.
Okay. Take the 41, lay it up there. If you don't have it pre-marked, then draw it. Alright. You can do it. There's your opening, okay? So center it on your opening with about 1/4 of an inch around it like that, okay? Make your own mark to cut around. Make it dark so you can see it. Did you go in a circle? Okay, you cut it. Do y'all all, we'll let everybody cut a little bit, so you can see what that feels like. Cut just a little, and nobody cut the whole thing, everybody cut just a little bit, so you can feel what it feels like.